Hello, once again. This is Mike here with Creation Creator, and I wanted to share a transmission with you today about self-love and about how to stand tall in all of the fear and unconsciousness in the world at this time. And what I wanted to talk about in this video, the title of the video is The Infinite Freedom of Knowing Who You Are. And so if you've watched any of my old videos, you know that declaring yourself in frequency as a divine being is where the spiritual path becomes exponentially exciting and magical and clearer and clearer about how simple it is and about what the purpose of spiritual growth is to learn who you are. And I want to talk today about how incredibly simple it really is to know who you are. And I want to talk about how when you really, really, really know who you are, what you discover is that you are infinite freedom or sovereignty, which is probably my favorite word, which means supreme authority or power, but not an authority or power over circumstances, over the outer world, but a supreme authority and power over your own inner universe, over your thoughts and your emotions and your actions. And so whenever you know who you are, the only way you can do that is if you realize how incredibly simple it is, and that you already have a higher self within you that knows how to navigate your life in the most perfect way, in the most harmonious way. Knowing who you are means allowing your higher self to know itself through you. And whenever you first start teaching yourself these practices, meditation and visualization, it's so frustrating whenever you think you have to try to do it yourself. You have to try and visualize these certain things in like different realms or angels or spirits, and those abilities, those what some people might think is superhuman abilities. Well, they are superhuman because they're attributes of your higher self. And your higher self is already as real as your physical body is, perhaps more so. And so all you have to do is allow your higher self to realign to your physically oriented consciousness. And it's truly incredibly simple to do. You just have to trust the process and really learn to surrender into the uniqueness of your own experience of spirit and of your own higher self embodiment. And so the purpose that I was wanting to share these things today, this infinite freedom of knowing who you are, of allowing your higher self to be you, is because there is a pandemic in our world, in the physical sense, people call the coronavirus, which interestingly enough, corona means crown, so it basically means crown virus. And that's a physical reflection, a physical manifestation of an energetic pandemic that's going on which is people feel so separate from the universe, from the Creator, from God, that fear and doubt is manifesting in the outer world in a way that is basically forcing people to confront themselves and their fear of being alone in their own presence. What I mean by that is quarantines and events being canceled and people having to spend more time on their own. Just like hundreds of thousands, if not millions and millions of people are all experiencing a dark night of the soul. And confronting yourself is how Spirit allows you to forgive yourself and learn to have mercy on yourself. Because whenever you think you know who you are, defined by physical world ideas, creations, status symbols, that's an endless game that you play with yourself. And the world is basically creating this situation now in the outer world that is forcing people to reconcile with who they really are. And so you have to let your higher self do it through you. And I've just in my journey and in my experience of spiritual expansion, I just want people to understand that you can try for an entire lifetime to measure up to spiritual ideas and concepts and the things you've imagined that being spiritual should be like. And that's just a spiritual ego. What surrendering means is accepting that you already are your higher self, that your higher self is the essence of what you are. And your higher self is so powerful that it allows you to experience a holographic projection of its consciousness and create yourself in the image that you perceive yourself to be. And that can be a poor little me, that can be a victim, that can be something in alignment to the social and the ideas the world prescribes for everyone. Or you can align back to your higher self, which is already just as real as anything else in the universe, which is the basis of reality itself. And you can program your consciousness to know that you are all of the power of the universe, that you are all of the love of the Creator, that you are the everything that you've ever sought in the outer world. You're the everything you've ever dreamed of right now, because you are your higher self. Your higher self is the Creator of all, a holographic fractal emanation of Spirit. And knowing who you are as your higher self is infinite freedom. And that is how humanity can completely overcome the pandemic of fear and separateness from divinity, and this outer pandemic of what many people that research outside of mainstream news know very clearly, that it's a pandemic being designed to impose limitations and control and mass manipulation on a population that is waking up way more quickly than the dark forces in this world are able to maintain control over. And those dark forces, they feel completely unforgivable for the things they've done about dominating humanity and keeping humanity separate from its higher self with systems of control, with demonic manipulation, ritual sacrifices, and all of those groups that perpetuate that. Their greatest fear is having to reconcile and face their own divinity. And that is their greatest fear. And that is why all of these crazy agendas are going on in the world with people at the the wealthiest corporations and governments working together to try and control the awakening of humanity. And that's a very complicated, strange subject to a lot of people, but I just wanted to touch on it because that's why the ascension of our planet of humanity is so suppressed, and why it's so tried to be controlled by forces in this world that don't want that to happen. But anyway, it is happening. They don't really have a choice in the matter because the majority of humanity has awakened to its divinity faster than they have the ability to maintain control over. And that is infinite freedom, knowing that we are our higher self, a collective higher self of humanity, the perfect human. And that means healing the separation from divinity that we chose to experience in this world. And I really just wanted to share this with you tonight because I have learned to trust my higher self so deeply that I honestly, genuinely feel that if I can share this energy with others, if I can just be of service to one person, then the things that I've been blessed with in my life to learn and experience and discover within me, that all of these things were of infinite value to the awakening of humanity. Because one person in this world awakening is a miracle, and all of humanity awakening together in the collective ascension of humanity will be the greatest miracle that humanity's ever known. Before the fall, of course. So anyway, I hope that this video has been a supportive, just an exciting transmission about who you are in spirit and how easy it is to connect to your higher self. And I just wanted to share this sense of infinite freedom, just this incredible sense of cosmic freedom and sovereignty. That's like just a faith that your higher self is already real. You don't have to try to figure it out at all. You just have to align to it and trust it, and keep your mind and your heart and your body as pure and healthy as you possibly can, so the frequencies of your higher self can just find a safe place to land and integrate into your all of your bodies, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual. And so I am infinitely grateful for anyone and everyone who listens to this, because I know who you are. I know that you are a daughter and son of the Most High. I know that I know how difficult this year has been. I can feel how I can just feel how many of us, like, despite all of the insane things happening in the world, or pandemics, or world leaders, and all of these things happening that just baffle us, I can just tune in and feel the incredible sense of faith that lightworkers have across the planet, that despite how ominous or dark things look out there, we know who we are. And the more powerfully and unstoppably we connect to that and declare who we are and live as who we are, the faster the oppressive forces in this world have to make themselves known to mass consciousness, and they have to reconcile and answer and atone for all of the things that they've done. And the amazing thing is, all of that can be instantaneously forgiven in the blink of an eye with Sophia Christ consciousness, because that's infinite freedom. That's forgiveness in the highest level. And so I hope that this message found fertile soil in your heart this night, and I am so grateful for everyone in the world that maintains their momentum of Christ consciousness and their knowing of who they are, because we are all in this together. And one person that maintains their faith in their own Holy Spirit and in their own light assists and helps and awakens thousands of others. And so with that, I am going to say farewell, and I look forward to speaking with you again in a future time where both of us may be in a even higher vibrational frequency of knowing who we are as the infinite freedom of our higher self. Thank you for listening. I love you so much. Goodbye.